Now, at this point in time, you might be wondering, so if we have all these ways of naming these benzene molecules, which one is correct? And so my expectation for what you need to know is that you need to be familiar with essentially all three ways that the naming of these benzene molecules can be used. So if I was to write a name that had ortho dimethylbenzene, you should be able to recognize that it represents a 1-2 positioning of the attachment groups, or I could write 1,2 dimethylbenzene, and you should still be able to draw this similar structure. And so my expectation of you will be that you should be familiar with the two different ways in which we can write the name for the attachment group, specifically for two attachment groups around the benzene. This method will not work if there are three. So this is only for when there are two attachment groups around the benzene ring. And so that is something that you are going to be expected to know. So the final thing that we want to take a look at is, if I was to bring back the sheet, is this little part right down here where we're taking a look at, let's say, this benzene ring over here, and then we've got this long carbon chain down here. So the question is, at this point, which is going to be considered the main chain? And so in this case, when you're trying to take a look at this molecule, again, we're just going to be sticking with the very rudimentary sort of way of defining the main chain, which is the one that has the longest continuous carbon chain. And so in this case over here, if I was to take a look at this bottom part right here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 carbons right here. And then if I was to take a look at this benzene ring over here, there would be 6 carbons. And so in this case over here, what I would be then considering is that since this has 9 carbons, this will be my main chain, and this benzene molecule over here is going to be considered to be the attachment group. I'm not going to expect you to have to deal with something like this, but this is just something that I wanted to bring up just so that you are aware of should you need to take a look at identifying the main chain or the main carbon backbone of the particular molecule. And so this is our very brief examination of the benzene molecule, and my expectation for you is that you would be able to name them, and especially using the ortho, meta, para descriptors for the locations of two attachment groups around the benzene ring.